and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to talk about getting a car in Dubai. You guys really enjoyed our flat tour. We enjoyed filming it. So we thought we would talk about some more processes about moving to a new country because it's really complex and there's lots of things that you need to think about.
We found out the process of actually buying a car is different to the UK. So we had to kind of learn as we kind of navigated the first couple of months in Dubai, and we found out quite a few things we thought would be very helpful to you guys. So join us in this video and we'll talk through it.
As always, if you guys like this video, make sure you subscribe. That really helps us out more than you guys will know. Like, comment, and share it with anybody that this might be useful for. Okay, let's get into it.
Dubai is a driving city, so you need some wheels. So hiring a car is your best bet.
When you first arrive, for a couple of days, if you want to use taxis, it's not too bad.
But for the long term, you want to explore Dubai and you want the convenience of just having a car, getting in it, and just going wherever you want to go, which is where hiring companies come in clutch.
Yeah, and also so convenient. In Dubai, often the hiring companies, the experience we had with Shaz's cars, they literally will drop the car to your door. They'll do the checks then. When you're finished, they'll come and collect it.
And it's all
with no extra cost as well.
And it's all done on WhatsApp.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
This is one thing, and we're going to film a Q&A about the whole process, about Emirates IDs, everything, all the questions that you guys have, very shortly, jobs, etc., next week. So it'll be coming out in a week or two, which I'm really excited to share with you. Everything is done through WhatsApp, and sometimes it feels a little scammy if you're from the UK, but actually it's not. That's just the way things work. Get used to sending your passport pictures and your driving license over WhatsApp.
It felt very weird.
Yeah.
But you really have to change your mindset when you come to Dubai. A lot of things in the UK that we thought red flags, here it's just normal. It's actually crazy.
Yeah, it tests you, that's for sure.
It does.
But before you can actually buy a car for yourself, you will need to have your Emirates ID. You also need your UAE driving license. So those are two things that take a little bit of time. So you will actually need to hire a car before you can start the buying process.
The Dubai car market is slightly different to the UK car market. You need to kind of get your head around that. There are loads of different specs of cars in the UAE, in Dubai. You can get American spec, you could get Japanese specs, you could get the GCC, which is the Dubai, the UAE, Middle East, the Gulf, spec. That is the spec that you want to buy, you want to purchase, because it is made for this weather, this environment. So the paint job to the engine to the aircon, everything is catered to this weather.
So if you think about it, it is literally a desert here. So it's extremely hot in the summer. It gets up to 45, 50 degrees. And sometimes your car will be parked outside. You're also going to need to have a really powerful aircon. And you're going over roads that sometimes are a little bit bumpy. You're going to be braking quite harshly sometimes. So you have to have a car that is suitable to this climate and the way that people drive over here. So if you're going to get a car, I would definitely recommend going for a GCC spec.
Definitely. In Dubai, they don't have many restrictions when it comes to car manufacturers like they do in Europe. So in Dubai, you will see so many different brands in comparison to, for example, the UK. So we was very surprised. So so many manufacturers from China, Japan, Korea, like all
loads of American cars.
Loads of American cars.
And also bear in mind you're driving on the other side of the road, so the right hand side.
Right side. Yeah.
I was like, hang on a minute, I'm just getting used to it.
Yeah,
we're driving on the right hand side now, which actually comes much more easily than you'd expect.
Yeah.
Once you've done it a couple of times, it becomes natural. Yeah. Like I just forgot that we're driving on the other side of the road. Anyway.
This is where you have to be very mindful because there are loads of different specs, like we mentioned. Yeah. So yeah, keep that in mind.
One thing that I found really interesting is the cars that are desirable in the UK are very different to the cars that are desirable in the UAE. And I know that makes sense because it is a different environment, but it was a bit of like an eye-opener, I think. I always think in the UK, the most desirable cars are the kind of German cars, like the Audi, Mercedes, BMW, generally, or your kind of more expensive luxury cars as well. However, here, it's vastly different, and a lot of people go for 4x4. So the roads are much bigger, it's much easier to move around, you've got more space. And parking also is really easy. In London, a 4x4, that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, you're gonna see so many 4x4s, like Alex mentioned, because it's a desert. You're gonna have a lot, like for example, the German cars are still desirable, people do like them, but you have to pay a premium. So loads of people tend to go for, like, for example, If you're in Dubai or the UAE, you're going to know you're going to see Nissan Patrols everywhere. Some of the ones that we really like the look of as well, and they were on the short list. Suzuki Jimny. If you don't know what it is, search it up.
No, I'm going to put a picture because
we'll put a picture up then.
It's so cute. It's such a cute car, and I see them quite a lot here.
You've also got options for a budget-friendly Bentley Bentayga, which is a Genesis GV70. Yeah, it is stunning. We really like the look of it.
There are some really, really beautiful cars for much less money here in the UAE, which was amazing to see because you can almost have that luxury lifestyle without paying the insane amount of money for some of the cars. And there's a big focus on the interior, like the Genesis and the car that we got. Which I'll tell you in a minute. There's a real focus on like the interior and the exterior comfort as well. So you get a lot for your money in some of these cars. Okay, that's all well and good, but how do you actually get a car in the UAE? So there are loads of dealerships, and the way that Dubai is designed, and I'm saying the UAE, I don't have experience of Abu Dhabi or any of the other Emirates that are in the UAE, but in Dubai there are loads of car showrooms, and the way that it's been designed is that they will have like a section of Dubai that is full of car showrooms, so you can literally just walk around and spend hours looking at different cars. Now the first thing that you need to do is weigh up whether you want a brand new car or whether you want a used car. Now in the UK I would always go for a used car. It's more affordable, more cost effective. I just think it's not worth getting a brand new car. However, in the UAE, obviously there are lots of different specs and sometimes the regulations are a little bit different. So for us, we were more inclined to buy a newer car that we knew that we could trust and we would be safe in. Now, obviously the roads in Dubai are incredible. They're designed very well, but sometimes the driving is a little bit scary. So we wanted to know that we had that kind of safety aspect. And we also have to bear in mind that about a year ago, at the time of filming this, year and a bit, there were some huge floods in Dubai and lots of cars were flooded. And it has caused a bit of an issue with some of the cars and some that have been resold, even though that they've had flood damage. So obviously that's not great, and we didn't want to get ourselves involved in that. So we thought, actually, this time we're going to get a newer car. Even if it's not brand new, we are going to get something that's a little bit newer, so we have that peace of mind. But yeah, just be careful and make sure you think very carefully. That doesn't mean that the older cars are not a good idea, because absolutely I know people that have got older cars that have been fantastic. Just get them checked. You can do what is it called? A pre-purchase check. A pre-purchase check, so you can do that to make sure there's nothing wrong with it, that it's all okay. But another thing, sorry, I should add, is that we also didn't want to have to worry about extra expenses. So the car that we have got has a 6-year warranty.
So what you need to have before you purchase the car, you need a valid Emirates ID and driver's license. Also, bear in mind, if you're looking to get a bank loan to purchase a car, you will need 3 months pay slip before you can actually apply for that. So bear that in mind. And
also a UAE bank on that note as well. You will need to be registered to a UAE bank. So there's quite a few steps. Emirates ID, a UAE driving license, and also a bank account. This does take a little bit longer. So once we decided that we wanted a car and we found it, we then had to wait, I think, nearly 2 weeks, wasn't it, before we actually had the car in our hands. And that was because also it was Eid. So hopefully for you guys it'll take a little bit less, but I would say 5 to 10 working days is how long this process will take.
You do. And also, if you are with a good dealership, they will try and make it as smooth as possible.
In order to get your Emirates ID, you will obviously need to have your blood test and X-ray, and then also you'll need to go for a fingerprint. That does take a little bit of time, but if you are coming through your employer, they will support you with that, and we're going to talk more about that process in our Q&A video that's coming up shortly. But for the driving license, I feel like that's more relevant for this video. These are the steps that you will need to go through. So the first thing that you will need to do is visit an RTA licensing centre. And when you go there, you will need to go get an eye test, which gave me a little bit of anxiety, but it was fine when we both passed. From then, you will need to take your driving license from your origin country. And this is the UK experience. I don't know if it's different if you're coming from a different country, but you do need to take your driving license, you need to take your passport, you need to take the results of the eye test, your visa, and your Emirates ID. So make sure you have all of those. For us, I think it costs between £100 to £200, including the eye test, which you have to pay for as well. So after you've had your eyesight test, you will go into a centre where you will essentially be put on a bit of a wait list. It's pretty quick. I mean, I think we were in there for about 30 to 40 minutes, but sometimes can take up to an hour. You go and speak to somebody, they ask you some questions, you show them your documents, you pay then and there, and you will leave with your driving license. They literally print it
straight
away whilst you're in the centre, which is very different from the UK where you'd have to wait for it to come in the post. They give it to you straight away, which is very convenient.
That's a common theme here, convenience.
Convenience will come up a lot. Once you've got your license, you will then need to take that to the dealership. They will give you all the information of the things that you need to take with you. I believe we had to take our Emirates ID, a copy of our visa, salary certificate, and obviously the driving license.
The new driver's license.
The new driver's license, very important. I think that was it. They need all of this to register the car with the RTA and in order to provide the license plate as well. There are quite a few steps and processes to go through, so it's not that simple, but you don't need to worry about that. You just need to be patient.
Okay, now for the fun bit. So what car did we settle on and what did we choose? We were thinking potentially a Jetour. So we knew there was a Jetour dealership in Al Quoz, so we drove our little mini Kia, our hire car,
Yeah.
and we got there.
I love that. By the way, a Kia Sonet is a really good little car to get around. So if you're looking for like a bit more of an affordable car, I really recommend it. I rate it. Like, it was actually very comfortable, very easy, very convenient car.
We looked through all the cars, we sat in a few, and we were so surprised by the actual quality of the interiors, exteriors, all the cameras, all the high-tech gadgets inside the cars. We was like, okay, Genesis might have to take a little
sidestep.
Yeah.
Not that like we absolutely love the Genesis, but it is a bit more expensive.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, let's go with this car, which is also 4x4. So we kind of, after looking at all of the cars, although we had an idea in our head that this is a car we'd want, we decided that the Jetour T2 was the car that we wanted.
Should have known, because they're so popular, there might be a bit of a wait, but we didn't realize how much of a wait. They said this, it's going to be approximately minimum 3 months.
Waiting list.
And we've heard people waiting over 5 months for their car.
And that's quite common. I think sometimes they'll say 3 months, and it sometimes takes a little bit longer. So bear that in mind if that is a car that you want, because obviously you're going to have to wait.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of waiting, and me and Alex, we're very impatient. We want something, we want it now.
That's a terrible trait, but it just is the way that we are, and we also didn't want to be wasting money that could be going towards our car on a hire car. It just didn't make sense for us. So we looked at some other options.
Yeah, we still kept gravitating towards the Jetour T2. So we sat in our Kia and thought, why don't we, instead of getting it brand new, why don't we look at a used Jetour T2?
We scoured trying to find one. We realised we didn't want a 2024 model because they didn't have Apple CarPlay. That isn't going to work for us. So we knew we wanted a 2025 model, and we kind of knew we wanted a black with green interior. So just a few requirements here, okay? But luckily, we decided to just add, actually, I think we were about to leave, weren't we? We were like, let's go into this dealership here. It's called Expat Motors. Let's have a little look, nosy around, see if we can find anything.
What was it, 15 minutes before they were closing? We literally caught a salesperson on his way out.
Yeah, had his bags and everything.
But he was so lovely. He sent us 2 options via WhatsApp, and luckily one of them was exactly the spec that we wanted, with a few extra bells and whistles, which we loved. So
I say we loved after love. So he'd been, bearing in mind, okay, we have to go back about 3 or 4 months. He's been watching videos on YouTube prior to coming to Dubai. I say 3 or 4 months, probably like a year before we arrived in Dubai. And he already had his eye on this and knew the exact things that he wanted in it. And it was there.
It was there, and it literally, the green interior with the orange stitching and everything that we wanted, it was there. So we was really excited, but we couldn't see it on the day because they were closing. So he said, come back on Monday.
No, Sunday.
Oh, sorry, come back the next day when they open the actual garage, and they will have it ready for us to see.
So we got there at opening time because we were like, we are not letting anybody get this car, because he did say that there were some people interested, and I know that is a sales tactic, but I'm also aware that in Dubai the Jetour T2s go very quickly.
Yeah. We had a test drive, we loved it, we thought this is the car we want, so we put a deposit down and we started the process. And yeah, that's how we got our car, and it looks amazing, and it looks a lot more expensive than it actually is. But the funny thing, on the first day of purchase, we decided to drive it to the mall, and what made us feel like we made the right decision is when 2 guys came out of a Range Rover and asked us what car it was. And then typical Dubai style, we let them have a look inside.
If I was in London, I'd be like, why do you want to look at my car? Am I at risk? Is this unsafe? But in Dubai, we were like, okay, no, it's fine. We just let them have a look. We opened the car, they were in there.
They had a look and they loved it. And they took some details of the car, like just where we got it from and, you know, what make it was. And yeah, they were talking about getting rid of their Range Rover. And it was a pretty nice Range Rover to get our Chinese 4x4, and it was like we walked into the mall, we're like, we made the right choice there. Yeah.
We absolutely did.
It validated our choice
decision. If you want to buy this car as well, it is around 30,000 British pounds. So it's not super cheap, but if you actually think about what you get for the car, it is very good value. We absolutely love this car. It feels really safe. It's very big on the road, which is, I do think, is something that you do need in Dubai. People actually for the first time are moving out of the way for me, which is amazing. They also have cameras around the entirety of the car, so when you're parking or even when you're driving and maneuvering into tight spaces, you know that you have that visibility around the car as well. It also has an indicator to tell you if there are cars on either side of you when you're changing lanes. Which
blind spot monitoring.
That's it. So it's just an amazing car that makes you feel really safe and very comfortable to drive.
Alhamdulillah for everything. We're very pleased with it.
If you are looking for a car, good luck. I hope you find one that suits you.
If you have any further questions, drop them in the comments. We love reading them, and honestly, we will take all of these questions and put it in our Q&A video, which should be out next week.
As always, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next one. Okay, love you, bye.